Adverts. I watch way too much television, and so I've seen most adverts, and I can kind of recite most of them. And there are some god-awful adverts about, as well as some brilliant ones. But also I've started to notice sort of poster ads and things, and when I watch an advert now, I don't think it's just an advert. I think like they actually sat down and thought of that. And a particularly terrible poster ad that I've seen about was a poster, and it was done by a government ad, and generally the government ones are very, very good, but this one was awful. Had a picture of a fish in a beer glass, and it says, he drinks all day, but he'd never dream of driving. Well, duh. And, you know, this is obviously annoying me on so many levels. A, fish are renowned for their short-term, for their bad short-term memory. Driving is not for them. B, a fish doesn't have the physical kind of, it doesn't have the experience of cars. You know, even dogs, I could even say, well, you know, even if dogs could think in a doggy, humanoid way, they would be able to say, well, I've been in a car, I like the car, I'm thinking about driving said car. Fish haven't. Fish don't have that car driving experience. 3, they're fish physically, even if mentally they had the capabilities of wanting to be able to drive. Even if, as in the cartoons, they can use their fins to use the pedals and the wheel, they have no necks! To be honest with you, even if someone's drunk, you know, even if someone's sober or drunk, if you can only look upwards because you don't have a neck that allows you to look forwards, then driving is just not for you. Fish can't drive physically nor mentally. Okay, that's the first one that got me obviously quite irate, as I've shown. But the thing that bothered me most was this was a drink driving advert. Clearly developed by sort of government officials and the people that are in charge of our safety on the roads. And they're so out of touch with the British public. Because who sits and thinks, okay, we need a character, we need something that people are going to listen to. We can't just have a government official sitting up there and saying it, because nobody's going to listen to him. We need a character that people are going to think, well, god damn it, if he's doing it, I'm doing it too. And they came up with a goldfish. How simple do they think that the British public are? That they're going to look at something and think, well, if the goldfish does it, God, if the goldfish doesn't drink and drive, there's no way I'm doing it. There's no talk about impact of drink driving. There's no talk of, it's nothing. But the mental thing is as well, is even if someone was stupid enough to think that, yeah, if the fish does it, then I'll do it too, or vice versa, then, my cousin had a fish that ate the other fishes in its tank. So yeah, you're right, a fish won't drink and drive, but bloody hell, cannibalism, it's all for it. So are we going to say, it's just completely insane. But the thing is, I think the reason that this stood out most is because the majority of the road safety ads are absolutely amazing. And I think a lot of them get ripped to shreds because they're on too much. But they are they're really sort of touching ads. A particular one that I find is the one where the bloke's going around he's at his computer and there's a dead kid on the floor, and he's walking his son through the park and there's a dead kid on the mound. And everywhere he goes there's this dead boy in his school uniform just lying there. And it's about the fact that, you know, if you speed and you kill a kid, then that's going to haunt you forever. The first time I saw this, I was with my little sister in my lounge at home in Essex, and we were sort of sitting there watching it, and we paused, we both went quite quiet. And I was thinking, God, that's quite a powerful advert. And I was thinking of this in a more sort of, it's, that's an amazing advert, it's really moving, it's quite deep. And my sister, who I assumed, stupidly, she's 14, I assumed she was going on sort of the same wavelength as me, turned to me and went, that advert would work a lot better if that kid wasn't ginger. I was like, how harsh! There's me sitting there thinking, God, it would haunt you, it'd be the worst thing in the world. And there's her thinking, but he's ginger, no one's going to care. But she comes up with some mental stuff, my sister. Some of her quotes are absolutely first class. One of them was, we were watching something and there was some fat Russian people. You know, they just happen to be fat and Russian. I'm not making the comment that fat people are wrong or Russian people are wrong. This is what happened. We were watching a thing about fat Russian people, and then she went, oh, 2 things I hate, fat people and Russians. And I was like, that's going on Facebook quotes. Because she didn't mean it, she just said it like she says some things. And I was like, that's definitely going on Facebook quotes. And she went, no, don't say that, people will think I'm Russist. Making up words. And there's just some brilliant things. Like, I said I was going up north, because for university I've moved to Sheffield. And I went to her, oh, Juliet, I'm going up north. And she went, the north? Isn't that full of rapists? So I'll southern upbringing for you. Isn't that full of rapists? Or is that just Leeds? To which I followed, Sheffield was voted one of the most safest places in the country, like safest cities in the country, by some sort of poll. Now I know now that it was a police poll, but at the time I didn't. And she went, was that a poll of rapists? Oh. Well, it's just amazing, some of the quotes she comes up with. She's just infinitely funnier than I am, and it makes me sick. But yeah.